Godzilla has been around for a really, really long time, all the way in 1954 to now. And there are over freaking 35 Godzilla films. And in this series, we're going to be talking about all of them leading up to the newest film, Godzilla vs. Kong. So why don't you sit back, relax, grab some chalky milk, and welcome to the series of Let's Talk About Godzilla. So guys, sit back, relax, and here we go. Hello guys, welcome to episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about Godzilla Raids Again, aka the second film to the Godzilla franchise, aka, I guess in Japan, it's known as Godzilla Counterattack. So, yeah. So, let's talk about, I keep stuttering, I hate that. Let's talk about this film for a second. So, supposedly, I guess in Japan, it was called Godzilla Counterattack, which is interesting. Now, it's worth noting that this is the last film that will ever be black and white, because after this came King Kong vs. Godzilla, which is the first film to ever be in color. So, this is also the first film that Godzilla faces a new monster for the first time ever. And that new monster is named Anguirus. Now, Anguirus is kind of like a Stegosaurus kind of thing. I don't know. You know, because he has the spikes on his back kind of thing. But, so, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off topic here. So, Anguirus. Anguirus is the first monster that Godzilla ends up fighting. And my thoughts on Anguirus? He's an okay monster. I think he's okay. I like him. But the sad thing is that the way Toho treats him is kind of not right, because he's either in not that many films, or he doesn't have that big of a role, or no one just really cares about him. He kind of is just forgotten, you know. Like, I don't mean like forgotten as like, oh, I didn't know that monster exists. I didn't know that he exists. No, what I mean is like, okay, I know he exists, but I barely think about him. Because when you think of Godzilla, you think of things like Mothra, King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, and so on. But Anguirus seems to be one of the ones that people don't really think about. So it's kind of sad. Anyway, the plot of the film is simple, really. And to give you a basic summary, it's basically Godzilla fighting a little monster and getting killed. Well, not getting killed, but just getting trapped in a bunch of ice. Really, that's kind of it. Really, the plot for this film is that he just fights a little monster. Nothing really happens in this film, and that's because literally nothing like important is going on in this film. Like, the only important scenes are where Godzilla and Anguirus are fighting, but that's about it. Nothing else. And it's worth noting too that this film was incredibly rushed because of how successful the first film was, and even the producer himself said that he admitted that the film was rushed very, very fast, and that's why some things in his film don't really seem right. Nor the film itself doesn't seem that good, really. And this film, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this film is the shortest film ever in the whole Godzilla franchise, because this film was only 1 hour and 16 minutes. So that's saying a lot. Yeah. And the plot of the film, I'll take it, but really there's not much going on here. Like, it's just Godzilla fighting another monster, and that's really it. Other than the ending scene where the fighters like attack him by shooting at a mountain where he gets trapped in a bunch of ice, really, and it's just frozen. That's it, really. But other than that, nothing really is going on in this film that much, and it's kind of disappointing. It's disappointing, and the characters in this film aren't really that interesting, really. Like the first one, the characters in that film were very, very interesting, but in this one, the characters don't seem that interesting. They kind of seem a bit annoying. Now, fun fact. So I guess originally, like, kind of how the Americans made Godzilla, aka King of the Monsters, in the U.S. version, but this time, I guess the plan was that the U.S. was going to have the rights to Godzilla Raids Again, but they're going to change it up a little bit. So I guess the plan was, I forgot which company was who owned it, but there was a certain company, I forgot the name, but they were supposed to like pretty much remake the entire film really by replacing some actors, replacing some scenes, and they even had like some new suits that were going to be shipped to them from Japan in order to remake like the Americanized version of it. So really, they were going to like reshoot everything, kind of, basically. But I guess the suits got either lost or stolen, and the company lost the rights to Godzilla, and so they had to cancel the whole thing. And then I think Universal, let me see. Yeah, so Classic Media or Universal, I don't know, now had the rights to Godzilla, and instead of making the whole film again, they decided to dub it with US dubs and such, which the English dub in this is really not that good. I'm sorry, it's just really annoying, and it's not that good. So unless you guys want to have a good monster flick, just skip over to the English dub and go to the Japanese dub instead, because it's way better. Also, it's worth noting too that in the English dub version, they tried to make Godzilla and Anguirus as if they were the same type of creatures from the same species, where they're not. And I don't know where they were trying to get that idea from. But supposedly, yeah, in the English version, they were trying to make Anguirus and Godzilla the same species, and that's why in the English version, Godzilla sometimes has Anguirus' war. And people were confused by that. Even I was confused by that when I first saw it. But I did some research, and I guess, yeah, they were trying to make them the same type of species or creature, whatever. And that's why in some scenes, Godzilla has Anguirus' war. However, in Japan, in the Japanese version, Godzilla has his usual war, and Anguirus has his own war. But in the US version, they decided to switch it up. So yeah, it's very weird, and I don't like it, but it's whatever, I guess. So yeah. Another fun fact for you guys: this film, in the English version, when it came out to the US, it was titled Gigantus the Fire Monster. Now, I don't know why they call it Gigantus, and even in the English dub, throughout the entire film, they called Godzilla Gigantus. And it's really annoying. And even, like, I guess, like, a year after it's released, the US director who dubbed the English version regretted the whole decision. He regretted it. And that's understandable, because why would you change the title of a monster who already had a name into something completely different? Now, I heard that it was because they were trying to make it like its own separate monster, and they believed that if they changed the name and gave it a whole new origin and such, it would do better than Godzilla at the box office. But sadly, it didn't. So, yeah, that's not good. Now, what would I rate this film? I would give it 3 stars, because the fight scenes, Anguirus and Godzilla in this are pretty good. But the plot, the humans, I'm sorry, it's just not doing it for me. But I still like this film. I will still watch it every now and then. I'm just saying that it could have been better, really. It could have been better. And for me, it feels way too rushed, and it's too short. And I'm still surprised to this day that it's so short, really. Like, I don't know if this is the shortest film in the whole Godzilla franchise, but it's very short. So, yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for episode 3, coming at you very soon. Ciao.